Symbols, the silent yet powerful communication devices that evoke deep responses. A symbol transmits complex ideas simultaneously to diverse audiences, transcending spoken or written language. Symbols take countless forms, from signs and glyphs to talismans and amulets, and even words themselves. In Freemasonry, symbols are paramount yet frequently misunderstood. Indeed, as described in the Freemason's Guide and Compendium, symbols often lead to confusion despite their extensive usage in Freemasonic practice. Freemasonry itself is famously characterized as a peculiar system of morality, veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols, underscoring the profound significance and necessity of careful symbolic study. Good evening, and welcome to tonight's presentation from the Quarries, an archive of Masonic lore. The founding fathers of Freemasonry profoundly understood the enduring power of symbols. A brief glance around any Masonic lodge quickly reveals that the ancient mysteries remain alive within the symbols themselves. These symbols carry philosophical power, a timeless heritage drawn directly from ancient mystery schools of the Essenes, as well as from Egyptian, Chaldean, and Mithraic traditions. Symbolism, the intentional use of symbols, serves to embody complex religious and philosophical ideas. Structures like the pyramids and the Sphinx of Egypt, the intricate temples of India and South America, all remain silent to those unversed in symbolism. Yet, for the Freemasons skilled in symbolic interpretation, these relics of antiquity communicate vibrant spiritual truths as vividly as the sacred allegories of the volume of sacred lore do for a Kabbalist. The psychological depth of symbols lies in their ability to trigger conditioned memory responses deep within the subconscious. Freemasonry employs symbols carefully chosen for their simplicity and clarity, drawn from the resilient artifacts of the Mason's craft, capable of enduring the ravages of time. Mathematics itself, universally recognized as a criterion of truth, provides a foundational language for these symbols. All whole numbers reduce to the Pythagorean system of 10 numbers, a system deeply entrenched in theological and philosophical symbolism. Historically, this symbolic numeric language has travelled across cultures. Notably, King Henry VIII tasked John Leyland with preserving the documents of dissolved religious institutions, among which were ancient questions and answers from King Henry IV. One crucial query contained in these early documents asked, "How came Freemasonry to England?" The response told the story of a Grecian traveller named Peter Gower, whose name was a corruption of the renowned philosopher Pythagoras, who spread Freemasonry throughout his extensive journeys. Pythagoras, himself an initiate of Egyptian, Persian, and possibly Cretan mysteries, intentionally preserved ancient wisdom by embedding it within the symbolism of numbers, using the Mason's craft as a veil. Pythagoras, like many before and after him, recognized the symbolic strength of enduring structures such as the pyramids and the Sphinx, already ancient by his time. Yet, Pythagoras was neither the first nor the last to codify philosophical and theological truths within numeric symbolism. The alphabets of Sumerians, Chaldeans, Hebrews, and Mayans conceal complete theological systems within numeric structures. Systems such as the tarot, I Ching, dice, and Kabbalah exemplify this codification, though sadly often reduced merely to gambling or divination. Nonetheless, even through misuse, these symbolic systems remain preserved for genuine seekers who can decipher their hidden meanings. The volume of sacred law itself exemplifies numeric symbolism through profound biblical references, such as John 1:1, 1 symbolizing the word and beginning, Genesis 1:4, 2 representing light and darkness, or Revelation's repeated numeric symbolism illustrating spiritual truths. This presentation seeks not only to illuminate the symbolism of numbers, but also to highlight how numeric symbolism unifies various theological, philosophical, and moral systems. As Confucius noted, a symbol can convey meanings that transcend even 10,000 words. Thus, while language struggles to capture the full essence of symbolic power, numbers remain universal, timeless keys unlocking the profound unity of spiritual truths across human culture and history. Number 1, known as the monad, is deeply symbolic, representing God or the divine principle across numerous spiritual traditions. In Freemasonry, the entered apprentice degree is founded explicitly upon the symbolism of 1, illustrating the initiate's first step onto the path of self-awareness and spiritual development. 1 signifies not merely the numerical value, but embodies the profound concept of the beginning, I am, the affirmation of existence, self-awareness, and the individual's awakening ego preparing to traverse the royal road of initiation. This initiation is echoed symbolically in the tarot, where 1 represents will, the potent force guiding an initiate's spiritual journey. Within sacred scriptures, this numeric symbolism resonates profoundly. For example, the concept of 1 aligns with the Logos, the Word, as described vividly in John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This principle of divine utterance, or creative vibration, parallels the Hindu and Tibetan Aum, considered the primal sound, representing universal consciousness. Similarly, the Buddhist mantra Om Pat E Hum encapsulates spiritual truths central to understanding universal oneness and divine presence. In Kabbalistic tradition, the number 1 is symbolized by the Hebrew letter Aleph, A, signifying unity, infinity, and the primal force from which all emanations flow. The ancient Egyptians revered this sacred unity through the symbol of the winged orb, which represented divine protection, kingship, and cosmic harmony. The sun itself, universally venerated in ancient traditions, symbolized the divine principle of 1, embodying eternal life, spiritual illumination, and the ultimate source of creation. Freemasonry encapsulates these profound spiritual concepts within tangible symbols used in ritual and instruction. The sword, representing spiritual discernment and authority. The gavel, symbolizing decisive action and judgment. And the gauge, embodying precision, measurement, and the disciplined pursuit of moral and spiritual rectitude, are each powerful reminders of the monad. These symbols guide the Freemason to internalize the foundational truth of unity with the divine source, underscoring the interconnectedness of personal will, universal law, and spiritual awakening. Thus, the symbolism of 1, the monad, within Freemasonry and across diverse spiritual traditions, provides initiates with the essential framework for their profound inward journey toward enlightenment, self-realization, and divine communion. Number 2 symbolizes the profound principle of polarity, encapsulating the essential dualities that define existence. It embodies the feminine or mother principle, central to creation myths and theological doctrines across various cultures. This symbolism is vividly illustrated through the widespread narratives of Immaculate Conception, a concept deeply embedded in the spiritual traditions of ancient Egypt, India, Persia, and South America, among others. The Immaculate Conception metaphorically describes matter, symbolizing the feminine principle, becoming spiritually infused, thus possessing the potential to elevate humanity to divine realization, transforming mortal beings into sons of God. Biblical scriptures further enrich this symbolic duality. In Isaiah 45:7, the profound declaration, "I form the light and create darkness, I create good and I create evil, I, the Lord, do all these things," encapsulates the fundamental necessity of polar opposites in cosmic and human existence. This duality permeates all facets of reality, manifesting distinctly in the macrocosm, the expansive universe, and the microcosm, individual human experiences, revealing the inherently dualistic nature of perceived reality. Freemasonry deeply integrates this symbolic understanding into the Fellowcraft degree, where the number 2 represents the essential stages of preparation and gestation, the formative period during which the initiate cultivates inner balance and wisdom. The universal symbols embodying 2 further reinforce these concepts. The moon, which symbolizes intellect and mind. The Tao, epitomizing the harmonious interaction of opposites. The diamond of the alchemists, signifying transformation and perfected clarity. The Egyptian Tao, emblematic of life and regeneration, and the Shiva Lingam, reflecting creative cosmic energies. Additionally, obelisks and sacred stones from various ancient cultures signify spiritual ascension and the grounding of divine energy within earthly forms. The profound duality of masculine and feminine principles, good and evil, and light and darkness is also richly represented within Masonic symbols, such as the square, illustrating moral rectitude, the columns, symbolic of strength and stability, dividers representing discernment, and the level, signifying equality and balance. Biblical allegories of Adam and Eve, as well as the Virgin Mary, further underscore the essential and complementary nature of polarity inherent in human existence and spiritual growth. Through the profound symbolism of 2, Freemasonry guides the initiate toward recognizing, embracing, and harmonizing these dualities, essential steps in the path towards spiritual enlightenment and cosmic balance. Number 3 symbolizes equilibrium, representing the foundational triad and embodying the universal principle of preservation and reality. In the cosmic drama of creation, duality signifies the forces of creation and destruction, such as Brahma and Shiva, while Vishnu symbolizes the preserving and harmonizing force, maintaining cosmic balance. This profound spiritual concept is universally mirrored across religious traditions, frequently symbolized by the archetype of the crucified one. This central figure, often depicted as the firstborn Son of God and born of an immaculate virgin, is integral not only to Christianity, but also to the ancient Egyptian triad of Osiris, Isis, and Horus. This triad encapsulates the full cycle of human spiritual experience: birth, life, death, burial, descent, and resurrection, a sequence mirrored precisely within Masonic initiation rites. Remarkably, Mayan ceremonies dedicated to the deity Quetzalcoatl also reflect these spiritual cycles, bearing striking similarities to Christian, Masonic, and Tibetan mystical traditions, all based fundamentally on the triadic principle. Symbols representing the number 3 are extensive and profound, the most universally recognized being the triangle, an emblem of stability and unity. In Kabbalistic traditions, the Hebrew letter Shin holds significant spiritual symbolism, notably depicted as flames that descended upon the apostles at Pentecost, signifying the presence of the Holy Spirit. Mythological figures such as Neptune and Pluto, wielding their tridents, further reflect the triadic symbolism, emphasizing divine authority and cosmic harmony. The name Solomon, Sol Om On, further deepens this symbolic understanding, blending the sun, Sol, the universal divine word or logos, Om, and the place of divine dwelling, On. Kabbalistically, Solomon references the Hindu heart of the lotus blossom, symbolizing the central balance and spiritual awakening inherent in all religious traditions. Freemasonry integrates the symbolism of 3 prominently in the Master Mason degree, emphasizing harmony, fruition, and the spiritual maturity achieved at the midpoint between polar opposites. This equilibrium is vividly portrayed in the middle path taught by Buddha, signifying balanced action and spiritual awakening. Scriptural texts such as Isaiah 7:14, "A son shall be born," and Matthew 1:21, "She shall bring forth a son," further illustrate the profound significance of the triadic symbolism, emphasizing spiritual birth and divine manifestation. Masonic symbolism incorporates this sacred triad through diverse emblems: the trowel, symbolizing unity, the 3-pronged shaft, Corinthian columns, the Egyptian cross T, and references to Solomon, 3 temples, 3 grand masters, 3 greater and 3 lesser lights, 3 witnesses, and 3 tabernacles. Ultimately, the symbolism of 3 guides initiates towards becoming spiritually enlightened beings, as expressed beautifully in John 1:12. "As many as received him, to them he gave the power to become sons of God," emphasizing the transformative power of embracing divine equilibrium. Number 4, symbolized profoundly by the cross, serves as a cornerstone of spiritual symbolism. Within the Kabbalistic tradition, 4 embodies the Tetragrammaton, the ineffable and unutterable name of God, representing divine law and cosmic order. In Tarot symbolism, the tetrad, the principle of 4, is foundational, underscoring the essential movement from mere balance, 3, to spiritual rebirth, initiation, and ultimate reintegration. While the harmony and balance of 3 establish equilibrium, true spiritual progress commences with the acknowledgement of 4, which symbolizes rebirth and the continual cycles of initiation and regeneration. This concept is universally represented by the cross, an enduring symbol found within the spiritual iconography of countless cultures and religions across human history. Each culture's cross uniquely portrays the sacrificial narrative and rebirth motif. The Egyptian crux Anasata, Ankh, symbolizing eternal life; the Persian and Druidic St. Andrew's crosses, signifying martyrdom and renewal; the Christian cross, embodying sacrificial redemption; the Earth Cross, denoting the intersection of the spiritual and material planes; the Hindu swastika, representing universal cycles; and the Aztec and Mayan Martyr's Cross, emphasizing sacrificial spiritual renewal at cosmic cycles such as the solar equinox. Remarkably, the narratives of crucified gods manifest across many great spiritual traditions, underscoring the archetypal resonance of the number 4. Figures such as Prometheus in Greek mythology, Buddha in Indian traditions, Horus in Egyptian lore, Quetzalcoatl in South American mythologies, and Mithra in Persian doctrines all share striking similarities in their sacrificial stories, symbolizing spiritual enlightenment, redemption, and divine rebirth. Beyond the cross, the square emerges as a potent symbol representing 4, particularly within astrological and mystical traditions. Ancient Greek symbolism portrayed the divine name as a squared triangle, harmonizing stability with divine creativity. The Pythagorean mysteries famously depicted man, the ultimate symbol of spiritual mysteries, as the squared circle, signifying the union of earthly existence and divine consciousness. Within Freemasonry, the symbolic power of 4 is foundationally significant. The marked degree explicitly centers on the symbolism of 4, emphasizing the attainment of spiritual and moral perfection where imperfections must be discarded. It signifies that an initiate has matured spiritually, ready to face profound trials, referred to mystically as the way of crucifixion or the long dark night of the soul. This pivotal number is regarded within esoteric traditions as the most perfect number, denoting realization and spiritual completion. Biblical references such as Genesis 1:27, highlighting humanity created in God's perfect image, and Matthew 3:17, my beloved Son, reinforce the symbolism of 4 as perfection and completion. Freemasonry integrates this symbolism prominently through the 4 corners, the 4 points of the compass, and the ever-present representation of the great Tetragrammaton. Thus, the profound symbolism of 4 guides the initiate through essential transformative processes, symbolizing spiritual realization, cosmic order, and divine rebirth, connecting humanity intimately with universal truths. Number 5 symbolizes humanity, capturing the profound truth that man and woman are created in the divine image, imbued with limitless spiritual potential. In ancient mystical traditions, humanity itself was known as the grand symbol of the universe, a reflection of divine order and universal principles. This sacred understanding was eloquently represented by Pythagoras, who symbolized humanity through the figure of man positioned within the squared circle, a visual representation of divine perfection harmonized with earthly existence. The upright 5-pointed star or pentacle vividly illustrates this ideal. Humanity standing upright, representing spiritual mastery, having transcended the limitations imposed by the 5 inner and 5 outer senses. Achieving such mastery signifies the initiate's profound capacity to overcome worldly desires, illusions, and challenges, thus unlocking higher mysteries of spiritual enlightenment. Importantly, the symbolism of 5 encapsulates both masculine and feminine principles. Individually powerful, they attain ultimate spiritual perfection when unified, represented numerically as 5 + 5 = 10, a complete cycle symbolizing harmonious, spiritual partnership and soul connection. Together, men and women strive toward mutual spiritual elevation, embodying the complete fulfillment of human potential. However, when inverted, the pentacle assumes a darker symbolism traditionally associated with Satan or negative spiritual forces. This inverted form symbolizes the manipulation and misuse of psychic energies and spiritual knowledge for selfish purposes, aligning itself with the archetype of the magician who pursues personal gain over collective harmony. The pentacle, in both upright and inverted forms, has long featured prominently within occult traditions, underscoring the dual paths available to humanity toward spiritual illumination or spiritual darkness. The profound symbolism of 5 thus serves as a powerful reminder of humanity's spiritual potential and ethical responsibility. Scriptural references deepen this symbolic understanding. Genesis proclaims humanity's divine creation in his own image and affirms the divine command for humanity to exert dominion over everything, Genesis 1:28, signifying rightful spiritual mastery. Conversely, the admonition in Matthew 16:23, "Get thee behind me, Satan," warns of the peril inherent in misusing spiritual power and succumbing to ego-driven temptations. Freemasonry richly incorporates these teachings through symbols such as the pentacle, the pyramid, and the sacred Pythagorean principle of the 3-4-5 triangle, known as the secret of the pyramids, each emphasizing humanity's potential for divine alignment and spiritual ascension. Thus, the number 5 calls initiates toward disciplined self-mastery, ethical integrity, and the pursuit of spiritual excellence. Number 6 embodies the harmonious and unifying power of love, symbolizing the profound spiritual principle that when love permeates the mind, the intellect becomes spiritualized and capable of divine understanding. This spiritual principle resonates profoundly with the scriptural affirmation, "God is love," highlighting love's transformative and unifying influence as central to spiritual growth and enlightenment. In Freemasonry and broader esoteric traditions, the symbolism of 6 is beautifully depicted through the interlaced triangles known as the Seal of Solomon, Sol Om On. This emblem represents the sacred marriage of spirit and matter, an ideal vividly portrayed in spiritual symbolism of lovers or soulmates who merge their beings into a unified whole. This concept of unity through love finds powerful expression in ancient Hebrew scripture, where the Seal of Solomon symbolizes 2 distinct entities merging harmoniously into one, reflecting the deepest form of spiritual union and divine love. Perfect love, as taught in Masonic doctrine, is characterized by responsibility, purity, and faithfulness, 3 cardinal virtues central to spiritual enlightenment. Fidelity and purity represent the highest manifestations of love, demonstrating a profound spiritual commitment rooted in ethical integrity and selfless devotion. Another significant symbol associated with 6 is the scales of justice, a symbol that underscores love's balancing effect, harmonizing justice with mercy. This principle is illustrated vividly in the Egyptian Book of Thoth, where judgment is symbolized by scales balanced by 2 triangles, reflecting the constant oscillations between good and evil within the human experience and the divine mercy that guides moral decisions. Scriptural references reinforce these profound symbolic meanings, particularly through passages emphasizing love as a divine principle. Verses such as John 3:16, "God so loved the world," and John 13:34, "A new commandment I give to you, that ye love one another," affirm love's essential role in spiritual enlightenment and human interactions. Freemasonry utilizes powerful symbols representing the number 6 to illustrate love's harmonizing influence. The Seal of Solomon, emphasizing spiritual unity, the scales, representing balanced justice, the open cubed cross, signifying spiritual openness and growth, and the triple triangles forming the foundation of the Great Seal, symbolizing divine perfection and cosmic harmony. Thus, the symbolism of 6 serves as a profound reminder of love's transformative power, guiding initiates towards spiritual enlightenment, ethical balance, and harmonious existence. Number 7 holds a special sacredness, symbolizing truth, victory, and justice, making it the first among the spiritual numbers. Within the esoteric tradition, 7 embodies the unifying principle that harmonizes all preceding elements. 1, divine. 2, the manifest universe. 3, creation. 4, earthly reality. 5, humanity. And 6, the harmonizing force of love. Thus, 7 represents spiritual unity and the ultimate quest for truth and enlightenment. Symbolically, 7 is revealed through the natural phenomenon of white light, which divides into a spectrum of 7 distinct colors, reflecting the completeness of divine truth. Likewise, music, revered as the language of the gods, spans 7 octaves, the mystical music of the spheres, connecting humanity with cosmic rhythms. Recognition and understanding of 7 symbolize an initiate's ascent towards spiritual insight, often associating it with philosophers and seekers of profound truth. Throughout sacred scriptures and mythologies, light emerges repeatedly as the ultimate symbol of spiritual truth. These narratives portray quests for enlightenment through powerful symbols: the Holy Grail, representing eternal wisdom; the Golden Fleece, embodying spiritual victory; the robe, symbolizing divine purity; and the search for the Mother of God, or divine feminine principle, allegorically representing the enlightened mind. Biblical references deepen this symbolic resonance, highlighting the ultimate spiritual judgment based upon one's adherence to truth, as in John 12:48, "The same shall judge him on the last day." Number 7, prominently featured in the allegory of creation in Genesis, symbolizes divine perfection and cosmic completion. The symbolic journey of the soul is vividly portrayed through the progression of numbers. The soul, 3, the innocent child, descends into earthly existence. 4, the earth cross. The attainment of spiritual knowledge, 7, represented in John 9:5 as "I am the light of the world," provides victory over earthly senses, 5, and allows for final spiritual judgment and balance, 6. Freemasonry embraces 7's profound symbolism, guiding initiates along the royal path of spiritual evolution toward the culmination of wisdom. Symbols such as the ladder of 7 steps reflect the initiate's progressive spiritual ascent. Other prominent symbols include the triangle placed above or within the square, symbolizing enlightenment, overcoming material reality; the cross, integrated with triangles; and notably, the staff of Hermes, or Caduceus, representing the internal chakras, or lights, that signify spiritual awakening. The torch held aloft by the Statue of Liberty further symbolizes enlightenment's illuminating power. Scriptural affirmations reinforce these profound symbolic teachings, as seen in John 12:36. "Be ye children of light," John 12:46. "I am come a light into the world," John 17:17. "Sanctify them through thy truth, thy word is truth," and John 18:37. "Everyone that is of truth heareth my voice." Thus 7, with its deep symbolism of truth, victory, and justice, guides initiates towards spiritual fulfillment, enlightenment, and the realization of cosmic unity. The rich symbolism embodied by numbers 1 through 7 only begins to unveil the profound mysteries hidden within numeric symbolism. Although it is challenging to cover every significant number within a single exploration, key numbers remain that lead us toward the revelatory number 33. Next, we briefly explore the significance of some higher numbers, each deeply meaningful within the universal tapestry of spiritual wisdom. Number 10 symbolizes the culmination and completion of the first spiritual cycle, representing the unity and interconnectedness of all cosmic systems. Profoundly illustrated through diverse traditions such as the Tibetan Wheel of Life, the Kabbalistic Tree of Life referenced in Genesis, the Egyptian Wheel of the Law, and the intricate Mayan cycle of life, the number 10 emphasizes universal themes of spiritual completeness and the cyclical nature of existence. This symbolic unity transcends individual traditions, revealing a common thread woven through the world's great spiritual teachings. The astrological cycle of 12 further amplifies these teachings, vividly represented in heroic mythologies such as the labors of Hercules, embodying human trials and spiritual initiation. Similarly, the Knights of the Round Table reflect the virtues of bravery, sacrifice, and spiritual martyrdom, paralleling the experiences of the 12 disciples of Jesus and the enlightened Sangha of Buddha. Each of these symbolic narratives illustrates the universal journey towards spiritual enlightenment, characterized by initiation, sacrifice, and ultimately martyrdom, reflecting the profound role of those who uphold spiritual wisdom as keepers of the temple. Thus, 10 symbolizes not merely an endpoint, but a profound integration of spiritual truth, offering initiates a vision of cosmic unity and universal interconnectedness. Number 22 symbolizes the complete journey along the tarot, known as the Royal Path of Initiation, marking the profound stages through which initiates must pass on their spiritual journey toward enlightenment. The tarot's 22 major arcana encapsulate the spiritual experiences, trials, and revelations encountered along this transformative path. Significantly, within this spiritual journey, the number 11, symbolized esoterically by the ancient word abracadabra, holds crucial importance, with its multiples 22 and 33 resonating with deep symbolic and spiritual meanings. 22, as twice 11, underscores a pivotal point of spiritual awakening and progression, marking an advanced stage in the initiate's understanding and mastery of esoteric wisdom. This number vividly illustrates the initiate's deepening comprehension of cosmic law, divine principles, and spiritual responsibility, guiding them toward ultimate spiritual transformation and fulfillment. Thus, 22 stands as a powerful symbol within the mystical traditions, signifying the complete spiritual pathway an initiate must navigate to attain profound wisdom, inner harmony, and ultimate spiritual realization. The purpose of this exploration has been twofold. First, to illuminate the profound symbolism embedded within numbers, and second, to reveal how a deep understanding of numerical symbolism leads seekers to recognize the essential unity across all spiritual traditions. Throughout our journey, we have seen how universal theological and philosophical truths recur consistently, whether represented through Egyptian hieroglyphs, Chaldean numerology, Mayan calendars, Kabbalistic teachings, Christian allegories, or Masonic rituals. Numbers, as codified constructs of spiritual truths, offer symbols that communicate timeless wisdom, transcending cultural and historical boundaries. Though these symbols may manifest differently across traditions, their messages remain constant, guiding humanity toward deeper spiritual insight and unity. Freemasonry, profoundly illustrated by symbols, encapsulates these eternal truths, providing initiates with the tools to explore their inner divinity and universal interconnectedness. Ultimately, the journey through numerical symbolism culminates in spiritual liberation, echoing the profound teaching from John 8:32, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Thus, numbers guide us toward an enlightened understanding of our shared spiritual heritage, uniting us in the universal quest for truth, wisdom, and divine freedom. For a deep dive into the history, philosophy, and traditions of Freemasonry, subscribe to From the Quarries. You will find hundreds of lectures, presentations, shorts, and other Masonic works written by Freemasons for Freemasons. Visit FromTheQuarries.com or YouTube at From the Quarries.